Last week, trees on West Gordon Pike and West Fullerton Pike were cut down to make room for Phase 3 of the Fullerton Pike Project. The project has been on the county's agenda for years, but the recent action concerned and frustrated residents in the area. Benta Boutier has the story.
Two phases of the project have been finished. The third and final phase will be the most visible. In the prep work, cutting trees has Highlands resident Jim Borman worried.
Some were beautiful, tall, 30, 40-year-old pine trees. There were maple trees, beautiful, colorful maple trees. And trees are important for a lot of reasons.
The third phase will connect West Fullerton and West Gordon Pikes. When the project is complete, Sayre Road will hit Roar Road, which runs west into the newly connected Gordon-Fullerton stretch linking to I-69. What used to be a rural neighborhood saw a lot of development with the first two phases of the project, preparing Gordon Pike for an expected increase in traffic with roundabouts and other features. Wayne Vaught raised his family in a home on Fullerton that overlooks a few acres of clear-cut trees now. The project wasn't much of a surprise to him because the county obtained part of his family's property for this phase.
They've been talking about it for several years. I don't remember, probably 10 years ago or longer. But it's like anything with the government, you never know. They'll talk about it for a lot of years before they ever start something.
He'd had land taken before by the Indiana Department of Transportation through right-of-way acquisition for I-69, and didn't feel he had much of a choice once plans were set into motion this time around.
We went to one of the meetings about it, and it was basically the same as when we went to all the highway meetings. They really won't answer any questions. They just tell you what's going on. They want your input, but they don't really answer anything.
Monroe County Highway Director Lisa Ridge says she's aware that tree cutting for the project came as a surprise for some in the area and takes responsibility for the lack of notification. But her department has been working on the project since 2008. Better east-west connectivity, access to I-69, and ways to bypass traffic through the center of Bloomington have been on the books since the county's initial thoroughfare and capital improvements plan was created in 1995. Fullerton and Gordon Pikes have always been priorities for development because of I-69 and dedicated rights-of-way. Ridge says it's taken so much time to get to the third phase of construction because the county needed to wait for federal funds and follow procedures to qualify.
I think at this point, we're looking at about a $13 million project overall for just phase 3. So that's why it takes a lot of years to get to the point of being able to construct it.
She says contractors have been told to preserve trees when they can, and adds the highway department has altered the project along the way based on public input. Medians have been added and removed as requested, and the project will not be a designated truck route. Highway officials say when the Fullerton project is done, it's supposed to eliminate cut-through traffic in Bachelor Heights and other neighborhood subdivisions. Vaught is frustrated with how the county managed his utilities through the right-of-way acquisition. He says the county won't bring water to his property as part of the acquisition, even though he has to connect to the sewer, making things complicated and expensive. The county gave him $23,385 total for the land and damages, covering some utility costs. But he says this doesn't consider the toll it's taken on his family. Just a few miles away, the county bought the property for a new county jail at about $115,000 per acre.
You're not getting very much money for your property. You do get a little bit of damage money. And the damage money, basically, a lot of that's for what you have to do. I mean, we shouldn't have to be the ones that hook up the sewer. That shouldn't be our responsibility. They're the ones tearing up our property. We have to put in the time to hire somebody, talk to people, go see a lawyer. We have to do all this. If they would just do it, you know, we would be out less. I mean, it'd be their expense. We wouldn't have to worry about it.
For Indiana News Desk, I'm Benta Boutier.
Construction on the road is expected to begin in the summer.